Hello, welcome back to the channel. So I am in the process of doing a bit of tidying from a hobby space, and I thought I'd show off a few more projects. Now this is a project I've talked about a few times. It's my 6mm Waterloo project. Before Epic Battles came, this is how I represented massive battles in the Napoleonic Wars. Now a couple of things, even though these have primarily been used for the 100-day campaign, I've actually used the Peninsular War Infantry. So the idea is, you know what, in this scale, it's near as damn it for what things look like. And ultimately, I've fought all the Peninsular War battles in 6mm. I've got to add some Spanish units to it as well. And it means I get versatility out of my collection. You'll see when it comes to the French, my choices with flags. But this is me showing off the British, what you can do with it, uniforms and 6mm. So for a long time in the 90s and early noughties, when I played Napoleonic, I used Principles of War. So my units are based on 3 bases. And with that you can make a column of march, obviously your line, and you can also form square. For French attack columns, we basically did that as well. Principle of War, I've mentioned it before, quite a nice set of rules. I quite like the kind of hidden movement elements of it if you're not doing a scenario. And you do record damage off table, so units on table until it comes off. Let's look at some of these figures. So these are Highlanders. And you see I've done some basic kilt work on them. All these miniatures are Bacchus. When I was doing this project, I looked at Heroics and Roz and a few of the manufacturers, see which ones I'd want to go for, and I decided on Bacchus being a bit chunkier. So Highlanders there. If I can do a Highland unit, I do a Highland unit living in Scotland. And then when I'm playing a game, each unit represents a brigade of the size that we've got going. So you can see the officers are actually wearing bicon hats there. We also see obviously yellow flag, so yellow drummer. Lots of yellows in there. So I can easily assemble the units. And again, just a white standard. So that gives you a taste of the infantry. I've got 20 odd units of British infantry. Some rifles. So fewer models on the base skirmishing. 95th. Again, loads of detail in the models. Here's one with a command stand with officer and bugler. Then some British Heavy Dragoons. I mean, I've often talked about the sort of horses should have black on their reins and harnesses, etc. But I generally paint them white in this scale. Against the grey horses it doesn't show off too well, but you'll see when I get into the other colour horses, actually it makes the harnesses, etc. stand out a bit more than just doing them black. So some British Light Dragoons. Again, I've basically put down my base coats, put a bit of shading on, and pick out some of the lighter bits of uniform. Now what else? We've got British artillery. So some raw horse artillery. And then we're going to get into some of the allied contingents. So what we have here is the Belgian heavy cavalry. and the Dutch heavy cavalry, a brigade of each. Done them orange flags. Don't know how historically accurate the orange flags were with a bit of green on, but that makes them stand out as being Dutch Belgian. So Dutch Belgian artillery. And yeah, a wee bit of orange to help identify them easily on the tabletop. So I believe these are Belgian infantry. It's been a while since I did anything in any detail with them. Yes, I think they are Belgian infantry. It looks like I've used British uniforms for those. British miniatures. And some Nassau in green. I don't know if I have used the French uniforms for the Nassau in green. And finally some Hanoverian troops. Oh, mixed in a couple of units there. Now with these guys, I have used a different shako style. Not those have got the British stovepipe shakos, but those have got a slightly different shako style on there. The Allied contingent, couldn't mention it without Brunswickers, black Brunswickers. Yeah, again, slightly different shako style for those. Some Brunswick Cavalry. I'll push all this stuff back. Brunswick Cavalry. Again, black uniform, blue, light blue. Pom-poms on the shakos. And you can see the white making the horse reins stand out. And now let's get into some of the fun stuff, command stand. So this is my Brunswicker command stand. And wouldn't be the British Army without, here is Uxbridge in his Hussars uniform with an orderly. Here is Picton in his black top hat. Then I have this stand here, which I use to represent the Prince of Orange. So my army commanders basically do 3 miniatures on the base. So obviously the Prince of Orange was in command at Catabra until Wellington turned up. So we can swap that over. And finally, Wellington, Old Nosey himself, with Uxbridge and Picton. So yes, loads of Waterloo goodness there. If I can, this is what the whole army's looking like. British cavalry, British infantry there. I think those are my Hanoverians. Command stands and artillery. When I'm using artillery in the game, I use one base for a battery. Dutch Belgians, Brunswickers, and a sneak peek of some Prussians, which I'll do a bit of a focus on as well. So yeah, as Labour of Love, it took a good couple of years to paint those in stops and starts, but I did manage to recreate the Battle of Waterloo on its anniversary with these miniatures. A good game was had by all. But anyway, that's my 6mm Napoleonics. Loads of fun painting it. I've had loads of good games with it. And yeah, I'm having a great time wargaming at the moment. There's going to be another video showing off my Prussians and another video showing off my French. So yeah, any questions, fire them away in the comments. Happy to answer them. Always happy to talk wargaming. Hope you're having a great time right now, and I'll catch you in another video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.